Hello and welcome to Model Minutes and the 9th episode of Subscriber Showcase, the series where you get to show off your latest builds and projects to the community. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at the first submission. A&M has sent in this Airfix Bristol Blenheim in 1/72nd scale. This is what he has to say about the build. This was my 9th kit that I've made. It is a very good kit. The two problems I had was with the engine, as they left a gap which required filler. The second problem I had was with the bomb bay, as it left a very big gap and I did not have any filler, so I had to use a hot glue gun to fill in the gap. Everything is hand painted with Humbrol colours and the camo is painted freehand. For just 9 kits under the belt, I think A&M has done a great job of finishing this World War II bomber from Airfix. Thanks for sharing that one with us. Up next, Airable 1 has sent in a small diorama featuring a P40 and an image of one of his tanks. I think that both models look great, the diorama base adding extra atmosphere to the P40. The tank looks very battle worn thanks to some good use of the paints. Again, thanks to Airable for sending that in. ATN Orange has also sent in a tank, which looks like a Sherman to me. This is what he has to say about his build. This tank was my first model kit and I broke many parts. I then later got the Cromwell starter set, which gave me the ability to paint, as it came with multiple paints. I wanted to create a realistic tank that has been through multiple battles. This was my first dry brushing job, so I had overdone it in some areas, but overall I'm happy with it. I think that despite having little experience, he's done a great job and it looks fantastic. Thanks for sharing that with us. Joby has sent in a Revell Red Arrows Hawk and an Airfix Boulton Defiant, both in 1/72nd scale. Both of these kits look to be well built, with the paint schemes neatly applied. The Defiant seems to be a favourite of many at the moment, as it's been featured a number of times by different people in this series so far. Thanks to Joby for sending those in. Now, we look at something a little older, a Matchbox Wellington built by Jonty. This is what he has to say about his kit. This is my Matchbox 1/72nd Vickers Wellington Mark 10. The kit had no real fit issues, but a bit of filler was required by the light on the top of the fuselage. I think that this looked great, especially for an older kit. The paint scheme and decals look to be well applied, and it captures the look of this bomber well. Thanks for this submission, Jonty. Máté is quite a regular in this series, and he sent in some more models for us to have a look at. This is what he has to say about his kits. First, a diorama called Captured Big Cat in 1/72nd scale. The tank is from Italeri, the Panther Aufs G, and converted into an Aufs A version. The troops are from Zvezda. This is my second entry, the Zvezda 1/144th scale M4A3E8 Sherman Tiger Face. Some details needed to be upgraded, but it was a nice kit. I think that both of these kits look great, particularly as part of their micro dioramas or use of a creative base. Thanks for sending these in. Nathan has also sent in a diorama this week, so let's take a look. This is what he has to say. These are the pictures of my These are the pictures of my Hawker Typhoon diorama. I used the new style Humbrol paints for the fuselage, and I used a cheap photo frame for the outside, and the piece of backboard was painted with grey artistic acrylics, and I drilled little holes to stick some red painted plastic bits and then put a piece of thread for the barrier. I used Hornby Town people from my model railway collection and Pico benches. This is the Airfix recent tooling Hawker Typhoon, and I really enjoyed building it. I think this diorama looks great, and it really shows what can be achieved with a little imagination. Thanks to Nathan for this submission. Next up is RandomRobloxMan, with a couple of submissions. He sent in his Airfix Cromwell tank and Panzer II. They're both to 1/76 scale, and he has posed them side by side to show the difference in their sizes. I think they both look good, and he's done a good job of picking out the details, which can be quite hard in this small scale. Thanks for submitting them, RandomRobloxMan. Finally, the last submission this week is from Scalemodellingmaniac, and is the Airfix Spitfire and BF109 Dogfight double in 1/72nd scale. This is what he has to say about the kit. The BF109 was a bit problematic, as the kit lacked the crisp and deep panel lines like the Spitfire, but I deepened the panel lines using a box cutter. That's why the panel lines are quite visible now. Also, I tried a panel line wash on the Spitfire due to its nice deep and wide panel lines, and it went quite well. But I don't have the guts to do the same on the 109, and the lines are deep but not as wide. I also applied a brown wash inside the wheel wells and the cockpit on both the planes, and the results were satisfying. The modelling on the 109 might look like the hardest part. In fact, it was arguably the easiest part of the painting process. I used an old toothbrush and dipped it in paint and sprayed it on the model, but some precautions in this method must be taken. Number 1. Mask the area where you don't want the modelling to go really well. Number 2. The handle of the toothbrush must face towards the model. Number 3. Don't thin the paints. I tried thinned paint modelling on some cheap die-cast models and the paint started to flow downwards. That's why you must not thin them. I think that he's done a great job with these kits, and I might have to try the modelling effect on my next 109 kit build. Thanks to the Scalemodellingmaniac for these submissions, and to everyone who has sent images and text in so far. As always, feel free to let them know what you think of their kits and builds in the comments below. And don't forget that there are 3 easy steps to get involved with this series and have your work displayed to the rest of the community. Number 1. Subscribe to my channel and click that notification button. Number 2. Email modelminutes@hotmail.com any high quality pictures, video, text or audio of your work. Number 3. Wait for the video featuring your work to go live. Don't forget to send me your links for your YouTube channels, Twitter, Instagram, etc. so I can include them in the videos. All that's left to say is thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe in order to see more content and help support the channel, and feel free to connect with me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. See you all again next time.